Welcome to the 14th episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host Kevin. This week we'll be discussing 1984's Night of the Comet. I want to thank you for coming. Those of you guys who are just joining us for the first time, hope you enjoyed our new intro. We introduced it last week. I think it's amusing. I hope you do too. Anyway, what we do here every week is discuss B-movies, forgotten classics, cult favorites, movies that aren't always being discussed, things that you may have forgotten about, but hey, I'm here to remind you about it. So send all your movie suggestions. You can find me on Twitter at KD9575. It's my initials and my birthday, which is coming up. So send those gifts. You can also find me on Facebook, and of course you can post comments on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe. So, Night of the Comet, 1984, starring Catherine Mary Stewart playing Reggie, and Kelly Maroney playing Samantha, who are two actresses who really haven't done much lately. Catherine Mary Stewart, you may recognize her because she was in The Last Starfighter. She was also in the immortal classic Weekend at Bernie's, which I may have to put in the Netflix queue. And Kelly Maroney playing Samantha. She had like one scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High playing the cheerleader. Allegedly she'd been doing some real B-movies since then, straight-to-video variety, including the immortal classic Chopping Mall, which I know you've all seen. I haven't seen it either. Anyway, this movie is kind of a combination of Valley Girl and the Omega Man. Essentially, the plot is 65 million years ago, a comet passed over the Earth. And in 1984, it's passing over the skies again. Some scientists think there may be some connection between the fact that the dinosaurs disappeared 65 million years ago and this comet. Hey, maybe it's just a coincidence. Anyway, there's a scientist think tank. They go underground anticipating maybe something's wrong. Most of the rest of the world is partying and celebrating. It's basically, a few years later, Halley's Comet arrived, and it was kind of playing up that whole thing. Anyway, our heroes wake up the next morning to discover that everybody they know has been turned into kind of a red dust. Except, I might add, a few people were kind of exposed to the comet, but not enough to totally dust them, and these people basically became kind of zombies. Looking a little scraggly, they have sunken eyes and nasty dispositions. They're not your typical zombies because they don't go around saying brains and things like that. But they do want to attack people, and maybe it's kind of left to your imagination what happens then. Something not too pleasant, I'm sure. So these two Valley girls go to the radio station, which is, hey, you want to hear the latest tunes, right? Who wouldn't just rush to the radio station and make announcements, start playing, the latest new wave hits. And there they meet their friendly truck driver, Hector. Hey, another friendly truck driver. And basically form a friendship. Hector goes from there back to San Diego to look for his family. The girls decide, hey, let's go get MAC-10s from the local armory in Los Alamitos. Because I guess their dad was a Marine, which of course, as you know, means that all teenage children of Marines are given the codes and the keys to get into the local armories. After that, they decide to go to the mall and go shopping. It wouldn't be an 80s movie without the typical musical montage. So they rush in there, they're changing their clothes, all to the soundtrack, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. But not Cyndi Lauper's version, it's kind of a knockoff version, which is very sad. There they meet some other zombies, bad things happen. I don't want to spoil the end of the movie, but there's a Sixth Sense-like twist about 3/4 of the way through that you may not be expecting. Spoiler alert. The movie came out 25 years ago, but you never know. It's a cult favorite, no question. The actors, like I said, haven't done much. I think Hector went on to do like Deep Space Nine or something like that, one of those Star Trek shows. It's not really a true horror movie. It's kind of a combination of like science fiction, a little bit of horror, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of romance. So there's something for everybody. It's really not that. It's not that frightening. It's more of, like I said, it's kind of an end of the world kind of movie. There's zombies in it, but there's maybe a handful of zombies. Nothing that's going to give you nightmares, I promise. A lot of it is implied, like, oh, look out, the zombies did this 5 minutes ago off camera. A few scenes like that. These zombies talk. They use guns. So, not your typical super scary George Romero Night of Living Dead zombies. So, don't be disappointed. It is still classic. You can't beat it. It is streaming instantly on Netflix now to the foreseeable future. It's much more of a snapshot of what was going on back in '84. Again, they're not typical Valley Girls, but there's a lot of Valley Girl influences going on here. What else? Like I've said in the past, what I'm trying to do is pick movies that are streaming instantly on Netflix, because not everybody has the vast DVD library that I have, and it's hard to rush out to your local Blockbuster because who knows where they are anymore. Hollywood Video, gone. Warehouse, remember that? That was about 20 years ago. 99-cent Video, yeah, no more. Anyway, so if you don't have Netflix, I think you can get a copy on Amazon or maybe at your local Target for $5. It is a classic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 85% fresh. 85%, please. Lawrence of Arabia only got 79%, so it must be a classic. Next week, I'll be doing the 1986 comedy mystery Clue, starring Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Madeline Kahn, a bunch of other, Martin Mull, Michael McKean. Not streaming instantly, I'm sad to say. So, sorry. You will just have to get it the old-fashioned way, or rent it somewhere else, or buy it somewhere. Maybe have it in an old drawer. I don't know. So you have that to look forward to. Rush out and get it. One thing I wanted to tell you about Night of the Comets. The original title was Teenage Mutant Comet Zombies. Yeah. So, there you have that. I like to end every episode, as you know, with a quote from the movie. There's actually a few good quotes here. The one that I'm going to go with is Samantha shows up after people thought she was dead. And they're like, Samantha, I heard you were dead. She's like, they were exaggerating, totally. So, there you go. Always a classic.